Going on, everybody? How's everybody doing out there today? Give me just a second here. Give me just a second. All righty. I am Justin Sayne. What is going on, everybody? Good morning. Oh yeah, it is early here. It's 10:30 in the morning. To be honest with you, normally I'd still be asleep. I work second shift. I usually get home about 2:30. Yeah, about 2:30 in the morning. And yeah, I'm usually just waking up right about now. I'm gonna do that. Oh Lordy, how's everybody doing this morning? Everybody doing good? Everybody good? Everybody just waking up? Got my Dr. Pepper here. TJ, what's going on, dude? What's cracking? Jesse Rodas, fucking Raider Nation is in the house. What's going on, dude? If you speak Spanish, they'll say "Hola, cómo estás?" So this is the first time I've ever done anything like this. This is pretty cool. So let's do this here. TJ, what is going on, dude? TJ, as you can see, he is in the landscaping business. I know him from that. TJ, what's cracking? Jesse, the Shield brother, what's going on, man? Congratulations, my first live. Hell yes. I never thought I'd be doing this. About a year and a half ago. Not that I necessarily got talked into starting a YouTube channel, but I kind of got talked into it, and so everybody's like, "Oh, dude, your personality, you're gonna kick ass, and you'll do very well on there." And I had no idea what I was doing. My first couple of videos, obviously they sucked. I'll be honest with you, but I've gotten quite used to the camera, talking to a camera, and just kind of just spreading the good word of hard rock and heavy metal across YouTube, and it's been fun. I've got 111 subscribers, which I know in the grand scheme of things that does not mean shit, but here at Sayne's World it means a lot. And yeah, I cannot be. I don't know. It's been a lot of fun. Being a musician, it's just another vehicle to to kind of spread the band name, cruella.dvil.music. And so yeah, if you go into like a prior, I think it's like episode 27, I think it's when I had our debut single. I put it up on YouTube. So it's gotten decent amount of views. I have no idea. It's up on all the streaming platforms, but I have no idea how it's doing. To be honest with you, my distributor will, they're collecting all the information, and basically like after every quarter, they get back to me and say, "Hey, this is how many clicks you've gotten, and this is how many how many times your song's played." And so yeah, I'll find out here in probably a couple months how the first single's doing. So, but yeah, couldn't be any more jazzed. So here in Columbus, I'll kind of start the whole live stream doing this. So just down the street is a club called the Alrosa Villa. And if you're a fan of the band Pantera, Dimebag Darrell, who was the guitar player from Pantera, he started a side band with his brother Vinny on drums, because Pantera had kind of gone on a hiatus just because of Phil, the singer. He wasn't sure if he wanted to be in Pantera or not. He had he had the back surgery of back surgeries and all that shit, and so Pantera was kind of on hiatus, and Dime and Vinny's like, hey, you know what? Let's just get a couple guys. Let's get a kick-ass band together, and tour the world. Put out a kick-ass album, which they did. It was called Newfound Power. Anyways, they went on tour, and they played a club just a stone's throw away from here. It's called the Alrosa Villa, and was it December 8th, 2004. Dime was shot on stage at the Alrosa Villa, and obviously lost his life. A few other people were shot, non-life threatening injuries, but the person who shot him, who I hate to say, he was actually from my hometown, which is about a half an hour away from here. He was shot and killed. Columbus police were called frantically, as you can imagine. And so off-duty officer just happened to be in the area, got on stage through the rear exit, and the load in, load out, and found the guy, and everybody's like, there, he's right over there, go get him. And just took him out, had to de-escalate the situation. And unfortunately, the guy, his name was Nathan Gale. Obviously he was from my hometown, but I didn't know him. It's kind of a small town. You would think that everybody would know each other, but I had no idea who this cat was. So ever since then, the Alrosa has kind of like a black cloud among everybody, and acts just didn't book any shows at the Alrosa. And a couple other spots had opened up in town, just a lot newer, a lot fancier. They catered to the bands, both national and local, just a lot better. And so the Alrosa pretty much had to stop booking bands. So they closed up shop about a year and a half ago. The Alrosa went on sale for about $1.2 million. Nobody bit, and so it's set to be demolished, and they're going to make way for some housing type thing. So don't really know how that's going to go, but the Alrosa Villa is still there. So haven't heard of a demolition date, but it could be any day. But I'll let everybody know how that's going. Of course, I'll put that up on Sayne's World, and it'll be kind of a sad day in Columbus. A lot of metal and rock fans here in Columbus kind of call that like a second home. So I saw so many fucking shows there. Played a lot of shows there, when I was in bands, and it holds definitely a lot of sentimental value to a lot of people. Some people like, oh my God, I can't believe there's even some comments on my videos that like, oh my God, I can't believe bands used to play there. The place sucked, looked like a fucking hole, and after a while, it did kind of look a little ragged, but still, the place held about 800 people, and it's going to be sad to see that go. Something else I wanted to bring up, I kind of made like a mental list of the things I wanted to talk about in this live. One of the things that the rock community was kind of hoping would happen for the last 10 years is the band Enough's Enough. They're like a rock band that kind of got lumped into that whole glam metal thing, but they were so much better than that. They were from Chicago, and they were kind of led by Donnie V, who was the singer and songwriter, and also played guitar. He was more the creative guy. He was like the main songwriter, you had Chip Z'Nuff, who was the bass player, and together they were kind of like the Paul McCartney, John Lennon of our generation. So years and years and years ago, they had a falling out. Donnie ended up getting kicked out of the band, and he had some issues personally that he had to deal with. And so he's been kind of laying low and kind of doing his thing, caught up in his own bullshit on the side. Chip Z'Nuff has kept the name Enough's Enough kind of going. And as far as quality, it's been rather subpar, to be honest with you. So Donnie V's kind of gotten back into the music, and he's been writing some songs. A couple years ago, he released a song called "Beautiful Things," and it's a phenomenal song. Once you hear the song, you'd be like, "Yeah, he was obviously the talent behind Enough's Enough." The rest of the guys were just, just did their thing. So Donnie, in working on this new single, it's called "Party Time." He got together with Chip and said, "Hey, why don't you help me write this song, and why don't you be in the music video when I do this?" So if you watch the music video for Donnie V Party Time, Chip Z'Nuff is actually in it. It's kind of low profile. Just oh, holy shit, Donnie V and Chip in the same in the same screen. It's kind of trippy. But they had a meeting shortly after, and they were talking about possibly getting Enough's Enough back together with the original lineup, with them together, and they would find the other cats. Because the original guitar player Derek, he passed away years ago from drug use, and the drummer Vic Fox is he's busy doing other projects and does not really get along very well with Donnie to begin with. So he wouldn't be a part of it, but yeah, they would get another drummer, another guitar player, and hopefully get Enough's Enough back together. But that's not going to happen because of creative differences, just a lot of political stuff, which musicians kind of have to deal with as far as songwriting credits, which is huge. Band name ownership, just typical petty, just business bullshit. So yeah, that's not going to happen. Donnie V said never say never, but it's probably not going to happen, which is pretty fucking sad. Because like I said, they were the Paul McCartney and John Lennon of my generation, which I was born in the '70s, went through the scene in the '80s, and as our generation, that was our Beatles. I mean, they were modeled after the Beatles. They had two singers. They switched back and forth. Just brilliant songwriting, just very melodic, just kick-ass rock. Fucking Howard Stern, if you remember Howard Stern was like, these guys like the biggest band in the fucking world, and they were pretty popular. They they didn't go as high up on the charts as they should have because they were super talented, but it's the way things work. So see, something else I can talk about is the big stadium tour that's been postponed not once but twice. The stadium tour with Motley Crue, Def Leppard, Poison, and Joan Jett, which that'd be fucking rad, dude. So that is set to begin in June of 2022. I can't remember where the first date is, but yeah, I can't remember exactly what city it is, but yeah, it's supposed to be starting June of 2022. So hopefully all the artists that are involved are keeping their chops up. Obviously, Motley is not touring right now. Def Leppard is out doing their thing. I'm not sure. I haven't heard of any Poison tour dates. I'm not really sure what they're doing. Joan Jett, I know she's keeping her chops up. She's still on the road. So so yeah, let me know if you guys have bought your tickets for this thing, because it's gonna be fucking huge. Yeah, it starts June of 2022. Poison, Def Leppard, I say Motley Crue, Def Leppard, Joan Jett, and put Poison way down there. So not a huge Poison fan. I'm gonna play around with this thing. I'm supposed to have a banner down here. There we go. Hell yes. Cool. So I didn't really expect that many visitors in here, to be honest with you. Um, everybody's still, getting to know me. Um, YouTube does its best to promote the artists and the content creators. Sometimes they do very well, sometimes not so much. It's just is what it is. So is what it is. So what else can I talk about here? Cruella.dvil. So the first single, I could talk about that. Cruella.dvil, the first single, it's called "Can You Please Me." Came out September 3rd, and it's available on our website, which is down there. Ticker down there is pretty cool. So yeah, www.cruella.devil.com. It's on there. It's also available wherever you stream music, Apple Music, Spotify. It's on all that fucking cool shit. So yeah. So we're working on the second single. It's called 364 St. Cloud. That is a home address of a home that my Aunt Althea and Uncle Larry once lived in. It's in Bel Air, which is in the suburb of Los Angeles. Spent a lot of time out there. And I remember when I met Vince, God, this is 2013, 2014. It's been a while. 2013, I think. I got to meet Vince, and because my Aunt Althea was, they were friends with the guys in Motley. I showed him my tattoo of Althea, which is on my left inside of my left wrist, and I was like, "Yeah, dude." He's like, my Aunt Althea loved you guys," and it's like, "Oh, that's cool," because the guys in Motley would hang out at the house. Jesse, here we go. Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's very sexual as far as lyric content. It's kind of a fast punk song. It's not really heavy, but it's got it's definitely it's got a beat. So hopefully you'll like it. Yeah, you can check it out. Check it out on the site, cruella.devil.com. Yeah, Spotify, Apple Music, wherever you stream music. Let me know down there where you stream music, and I'll let you know if it's on there. Which, yeah, the distributor pretty much put it on everywhere except for Venus. People on Venus cannot hear my songs. So they don't. I don't think they have internet connection up in Venus. Pluto, they do. The Enterprise is Star Trek. If you're a Star Trek fan, on the Enterprise, they have internet access up there, and they've Spock has told me that he has heard the song and he digs it. He plays it for the crew every once in a while, and yeah, so sorry, kind of a Star Wars and kind of a science fiction geek. Yep, Apple Music, it is on there. It is on there, brother. It is on there for sure. Yeah, there was a list of hundreds and hundreds of platforms, and I think I picked 20. They can even hear it in there's some popular streaming platform in Russia, and because people in Europe, they're less how do I say this? They're less apt to follow trends. They kind of like what they like and they stick to it, and they're not as socially influenced as we are here in the West. And yeah, people in Russia, they can even hear my stuff in Russia. So yeah, hopefully, Jesse, hope you like it. Jesse, we're gonna be here in about 11 minutes. We're going over to graphics because I just got the notification last night after work that he's set up to go live. I'm like, got to go support our boy graphics. So yeah, in about 11 minutes, we'll both be heading over there. So hopefully everybody's like this live. So there's a lot of stuff on the side. You can set up banners, which I've set down on the bottom. Got the brand up there, which is right up there. I wish that were bigger, but it's genetics. Got what I got. So I got music playing in the background, which normally you're not really supposed to have. But I got music playing in the background anyways. Fuck it. So I'm not monetized. That's not really it's not really a motivation for me, which starting this YouTube channel. Um, I work, so I've got money. I just basically started this YouTube thing just to talk about hard rock and heavy metal, and that's really about it, man. So I have noticed that that people on YouTube, as far as content creators, um, a lot of people love, like, they call them travel vlogs. So people basically just go out and film stuff. They go out on a road trip, and hey, here's a building where Abraham Lincoln used to live, and shit like that. People love travel vlogs, which eventually maybe down the road I'll get to that. And, next time I'm out in Los Angeles, I'll probably go on Sunset and say, oh yeah, here's the whiskey, and here's the Roxy, and here's the Rainbow, and tell some stories about all that decadent fucking rock and roll shit that I'm surprised I'm still alive, to be honest. Just because back in the 70s and 80s, the Sunset Strip out in Hollywood was fucking bananas. I'm lucky to be alive because I made some smart decisions. When I was out there, I was a teenager, and so technically I wasn't allowed to drink. I did, but I pretty much behaved myself, just because didn't want to. I wanted to remember everything. The first time you go to the Whiskey A Go Go, which is huge in Los Angeles, it's big because the Doors played there. A lot of the bands that these days, they cut their teeth playing these clubs in Hollywood. Like I said, the Roxy, the Whiskey, the Troubadour, which is on Santa Monica Boulevard. Back in the 70s and early 80s, they would play the Starwood. That was also in Santa Monica. That was a little further west than where the cluster clubs were. But the Starwood was fucking nuts. It was pretty much, if you remember the movie Boogie Nights, or that movie, God, I can't remember the name of the movie. It was about Studio 64. It was about the disco in New York, right? The Starwood was the same thing, but for rock music. There's drugs, there's groupies, there's artists that would go there. Every band from here, Van Halen, they were almost like the house band of the Starwood. Just everybody from bands from here on down, cut their teeth playing these clubs. The Starwood's famous for Eddie Nash, who owned it. He was kind of involved in the Wonderland murders, which is going to come into effect later, because that is Cruella.dvil.music's third single. It's called Wonderland, and it was a quadruple homicide, and it was pretty bad. They said it was the investigators that investigated said it was probably the worst murder scene ever since the Sharon Tate murders. It was just brutal, just all sorts of blood and gore, and just 4 dead bodies. One person barely survived. She had brain damage. She remembers pretty much nothing about what happened. So it was pretty bad. So yeah, there was just a lot of drugs, a lot of violence. Just sex, drugs, rock and roll at its core, pretty much. So yeah, when I was out there, I would go out there, just as a teenage fan. And some of the clubs I wasn't supposed to get into, but I got in. Saw some kick-ass shows. The Troubadour on Santa Monica Boulevard. They had that was probably one of the coolest clubs I was at, because they didn't have any. The Doug Weston, he would say, we have no dress code and we have no age limit. So yeah, it was fucking on. Saw some really cool shows there. Just a lot of these clubs are still there. The Viper Room is still there. When I was there, it was called the Central. Before that, it was called something else. Well, back in the 40s and 50s, it was called the Melody Room, and a lot of the gangsters used to hang out there. And the Viper Room, it's known for two things. Johnny Depp at one time was he had co-ownership in it, and that is also the place where River Phoenix he died just basically just walking out. It was Christmas Eve or New Year's Eve. They were having some sort of just jam night, and put that up here, Jesse. So yeah, the Viper Room is still out there. So yeah, that's where River Phoenix went out there. He brought his guitar, and he wanted to jam. But they told him like, oh, I don't know if we have I don't know if we have a spot for you. And he basically just went in the bathroom, fucking overdosed, walked through the club, walked out the door, out into the onto the strip, bam, died on the fucking spot. So, but yeah, the Viper Room is still there. There were rumors that it was probably possibly going to be closed down. All these clubs were pretty much in danger through the pandemic. But the major clubs out there, they've managed to stay alive, and they're booking shows, and everything's back to normal out there. I play guitar. That's my main weapon of choice. I also play bass. I can play drums, vocals, and I did an okay job. I did. I'm proud to say that I did not have to use what's that called, pitch correct, which is a lot of the like a trick that a lot of studios will do to fix vocals for singers that were little suspect. But yeah, I'm proud to say I did not have to use any of that shit. But yeah, I play guitar. I played since, as a matter of fact, this summer was the 40th year, 40. I've played guitar for 40 years now. So I played it then. And yeah, once you hear the single, let me know what you think. So I think you'll like it. It's rock, it's sleaze, it's glam. I've heard all sorts of weird comparisons. Like I've heard Motley Crue. I describe it as if Zakk Wylde, who plays with Ozzy, joined Motley Crue as a fifth member, that's what this song would sound like, if that makes any sense. I've heard the band Ministry, because it's got like a steady double bass, so it's not industrial, but yeah, I've heard that multiple times, that it actually sounds like Ministry, which Al Jorgensen's fucking, he's so talented. He's just one of those fucking artists that's just kicks ass. So, but yeah, hope you like it. Yeah, let me know what you think. So yeah, the second single, 364 St. Cloud, is in the works. Like said before, that's a street address where my Aunt Althea and Uncle Larry lived, in Bel Air, Los Angeles. Which, if you've seen any prior videos with Jesse, I got an interesting fact for you. But we'll get to that later. But yeah, it's a house that I used to visit. When I was growing up, basically in the '80s. When I wanted to, land in LAX, head to their house, just gather my shit and say, okay, I'll be in Hollywood. So if you need me, I'll be out in Hollywood, which is like 15, 20 minutes away. So it's a quick drive. So let's see, what the fuck was I gonna say? Yeah, we got 2 minutes until graphics on. Which, like I said, I saw that last time. I'm like, oh shit. So I actually moved this up a half hour. So I was like, I want to get on here, and hopefully some people will show up. So yeah, just some crazy times. Like I said, I'm very fortunate to be alive. There's a lot of bad shit that's happened out in Hollywood. It's very, if you want to find evil, it's out there. So yeah, but a lot of the clubs are still out there. They're still going. The Whiskey's booking shows, the Roxy's booking shows, the Rainbow, which is there. It's like it's still around, but it's not what it once was. Back in the like 60s, it was called something else, but like the 70s and 80s, it was basically like a groupie hangout. Back in the 70s, early 70s, Led Zeppelin, we would call that home. They would go there just to hang out for a couple hours, or whatever, and they'd pretty much close the place down. They would have their groupies in and do some crazy shit underneath the tables, and it was just very, very decadent. So obviously Led Zeppelin, they kind of, moved away from that scene. Other bands, pretty much, kept it going. But everybody says that certain booth, whoever sits in this corner booth is basically keeping the seat warm for Led Zeppelin if they ever want to return. So yeah, it's a very, very, very cool place. So, all right, I'm going to exit here. I'm going to, yeah, I need some breakfast because good old Dr. Pepper just, it's good, but I'm a grown boy. I need my vitamins and minerals and all that good shit. So, all right, Jesse, thank you, Jesse. Muchas gracias for coming in. I very much appreciate it. So yeah, we're gonna head over to graphics. So that's what we're gonna do. So love you guys for showing up. Yeah, just stay healthy, and as you say in SoCal, stay rad. Peace, guys.